Hey, Laura with Laura McDowell Creative, graphic design for solo entrepreneurs. I am here today to talk to you about kind of a cool little trick of how to create mock-ups for your digital products in Canva. There's a couple little things that I want to walk through with you so that you understand how to do this. The great thing is that if you are a Laura McDowell Creative client, if you've booked a VIP day with me in the past and you've received Canva template mockups for your products, this is going to be awesome for you because I'm going to walk you through exactly how you can use those same mockups time and time again for all the different products that you create into the future. So let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to share my screen. All right, so we're in my Canva account now, and I have open one of my mockups. Okay, so this is a stock photo that has been edited to look like a mock-up of one of my freebies, my Canva keyboard shortcut freebie on an iPad, okay? And if I click on the image of the cover page, you can see that it moves around, all right? It's not actually part of the image. So let's go ahead and get that back where it was. Okay, so let's say now I want to use this mockup for something else, but and so of course now what I need to do is I need to actually swap out the image that's here. So let me show you how to quickly do that. I'm going to go in to all my designs here, and I'm just going to pull up I'm going to pull up something that I've got. Here's my copy of my workbook template. So this is one of the workbook templates that I sell in my shop. So let's pretend that I am changing the name of this product, and I want to the name of my Canva keyboard shortcuts, and I want to go ahead and upload a new image, or I just want to have a different product being advertised through this mockup. So I'm going to go ahead and load the page, load this project, and I can come right into the cover page of this workbook. Everything's moving a little slowly with the screen share, of course, but we're getting there. Okay, so there we go. We'll go to this one here. And let's just go ahead and we're going to change the name, all right? So let's call it design course. Let's say that I'm going to have a design course and I'm going to offer a workbook that goes along with it. And there we go. Let me just style the title in my subtitle, and then let's go ahead and everything is just moving so smoothly. Put my brand name in there, and let's just size that down so everything fits. Move that. There we go. So what you need to understand, I'm going to go back to the mock-up really quickly. What you need to understand is that the image that's here is actually an image of that cover page. This is not the actual template itself, okay? So I can't click in here and I can't edit the text that's here. So what I want to do is I actually want to download the cover of this other product that I want to put in that mockup as an image. And so I'm going to come up here to download. The download button is the arrow that points downward. And you'll see that I'm going to have a lot of different options. So when I click on the file type dropdown, I don't actually want a PDF print in this case. What I'm actually going to do is I'm going to download a PNG, which is a high quality image, just a larger, higher quality than, larger file, higher quality than a JPEG, okay? And then I'm gonna come into my page selection dropdown, and I'm just gonna pick page 7. That's the page that I'm on in the project. So we're gonna select done. I'm going to select download. And here we go. I'm just going to click save here, and we're going to cancel out of that. And then I'm going to come in to uploads. And my upload folder is going to be where I can add any of my own images and files that I want to use in my Canva account. So I'm going to just grab this item right here, and I'm going to pull it up here and load it in. And I'm going to come back over to my mockup. Key here is to refresh my screen, because right now Canva is not going to see that file that I just uploaded, because this page has not picked up on that new file that's been uploaded. I don't think, maybe it will have loaded in, but usually it does not. Yeah, I don't see it. So I'm going to go ahead and refresh this screen so that it pulls in that file to all of the projects that I currently have open, and it's not just in the one that I was in when I loaded it in. All right, so here's my cover page. I'm gonna come over here and I'm gonna load it right in there. And you'll notice that it just snapped right into place. And that's because when I create mockups, I'm actually adding an element in the spot where the image is going to be. I've done a video about this already, and I've done some review of this on Instagram, but if you haven't seen that, I'll show you really quick what I'm talking about. So when I go into elements here and I go down to grids, you'll see that first element is a square frame. I'm gonna quickly add a new page to this project to show you. So I'm gonna click on that, and you can see that it's filled in that entire artboard, which I don't need. I'm gonna just go ahead and drag it to resize, and I can make this any size I want. The reason, this is kind of like a hot tip, the reason I'm using the square grid frame and not the regular square frame is because the regular square frame does not give me this amount of flexibility. I'm going to show you just so that you can see, because this is one of those things I think a lot of people get frustrated in Canva with this because they try to use the standard square. So let me find the standard square. Oh, it's moving so slow today. Okay, so this is the standard square frame. So let me go ahead and click to add that. And look at the difference. So when I click on the grid square frame, you can see I have the little lines here as well on each side, as well as the circles in each corner. When I click on the square, you'll see that I only have the 4 dots in each corner. And what that means is that I can't change the proportions of this particular frame. It's only ever going to be a square. But with the grid version, I can make it into a rectangle and really get into getting the exact size that I need. So let's go ahead and delete that. So that's a hot tip. Use the square grid frame when you need something like this that you need to adjust and make into a rectangle and really get specific about the dimensions. So really all I'm doing is I'm going to create one of these in the size I need for my iPad. In fact, I'll go ahead and I'll actually copy this image here too, so you can see exactly how I do it. So now I have my mockup page here, and you can see there's just a white where the screen would be on the iPad. So I've gone ahead and I've gotten my grid, and I'm just going to drag it to resize, and then we're going to tilt it to get the angle to match, and we're just going to scoot it over. I also find if you're struggling to get it to fit nicely, I also find zooming in on your projects can help as well. And sometimes what you're going to need to do is just get your image in and see how it looks, because it's going to depend too on the edges of your mockup. Like in this case, the iPad has a black border here between the screen and the case. And then depending on what my image looks like, it may or may not look good. It might look, you know, really fake, or it might have a really great seamless look. Like, I think this looks pretty good. I don't think, you know, it looks pretty seamless here with this particular image, but you might find that something you create, you need to get a little bit more specific with it. So like I said, if you zoom in, let me move my video out of the way here. If we zoom into like 50%, we can see a little clearer where the edges are, and it's a little bit easier to manipulate. And then you can get obviously it even more zoomed in and like really get specific with it and see, you know, exactly where your borders are, depending on where your needs go. And I'm just using the arrow keys in this case to get a really specific position. And so there we go. So if I do that, I mean, that's even more where we want it to be. Thing to understand with Canva is that because it's not a true, you know, full-on graphic design program, it's never going to be perfect, because you don't have the ability to adjust the perspective of the image you're putting in here, right? Like if this were at a little bit more of an angle tilted, for example, this would never work, because these edges are not going to be, the edges of the iPad, for example, are not going to be perfect rectangle. And we don't have the ability in Canva to start like manipulating the width of like just the bottom of that rectangle. If you're looking for something really precise like that, that's when you're going to want to get into something more like Photoshop, the Adobe programs to help you get really specific with things like that. And I can totally help you do that as part of a design day. But the Canva stuff, if you're not looking for like 100% absolute perfection, and in most cases it's fine with something with like a mock-up, because your mock-ups aren't something people are studying. You can totally get away for the most part, I think, with using Canva to the best of your abilities. And keep that in mind when you're looking for stock photos for mockups too. Look for images that you can tell are going to be easy for you to put your images into. You know, look for nice squares and rectangles, things with straight, even sides, and stuff like that, so that you can make it look as natural as possible. And that, my friends, is how you do it. So when you get a mock-up from me, this is not, you know, the end all be all of how you can use this. You're going to be able to add any other image that you want in here. So whether you are looking to swap out because you made an update to an existing project that we worked on, maybe the existing project that was shown in the mock-up, or you want to use this mock-up for something completely new, that is the flexibility that you have with these templates when you work with me to get your mockups created. So go into your document, you want to download as a PNG, you're going to upload that PNG into your Canva account. If you don't see it in your uploads, just do a quick refresh so it'll appear, and you are just going to drag and drop it, and it's going to replace the image that's already in there. It's going to just swipe right into it. It's awesome because it holds its spot. You're not having to now move that around again. I've already placed that frame exactly where it needs to be. So it should be super, super easy. But if you have any questions, let me know. I love talking about this stuff. Want to see you be successful and be able to use your templates over and over again. So any questions, let me know. But otherwise, good luck with your mockups.